Welcome back. Tonight, taking the hassle out of holiday traveling. So AAA expects over 55 million Americans will travel 50 miles or more for Turkey Day. That includes 1.7 Michiganders, 49.1 million are expected to travel by car, and another 4.7 million people are flying. So joining us now with a bit of travel tips, we've got David Fishman. He's the owner of Cadillac Travel Group. First and foremost, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Glad
to be here.
So I guess first, let's just kind of go in. Why do you think this travel season is so much more people going to be on the roadways versus previous years?
I think just an overall basis, since COVID, it's been ramping up more and more and more. It's really peaked in 2023. This has been the busiest travel year virtually that we've ever had in this country. And people are ready to go. They've been ready to go for a long time. And they're more comfortable getting out on the road, getting out in the air, and visiting people close to home and across the pond.
Yeah, I was going to say, coming off the heels of the pandemic, do you think people are just anxious to essentially get on back out there?
100%. I mean, you could see it during COVID. The number one thing that people were talking about is we're going to travel again. It's our number one thing. Revenge travel. We'll get back out there.
Yeah.
And now they're taking it to heart because they don't want to lose those opportunities to spend time with family and friends and see the world.
Overall, what would you say the appeal is to travel for the holidays versus staying at home?
Well, it's those times that you lost a few years of not seeing your family, those that haven't gone yet to see the families. Now it's even gone to a whole nother level. There's going to be 49,000 people a day coming out of just the metropolitan Detroit area, let alone flying out around the country. So it is going to be insane at the airports this season.
All right, so speaking of that, of course, flight cancellations, also delays. People should expect that. I guess we always say pack your patience when you're going out there to travel. Any tips to anybody out there experiencing any cancellations or something?
There's a few things you need to do. First of all, know the rules. Know what the airline's rules are based on cancellations or delays, so you know what you're going to get in compensation or how it will be handled if you have a situation. Secondly, get there early. Get there really early, okay, because it's going to be difficult. Parking, the transfers, I hope that the construction at the airport won't be going on during this weekend or Thanksgiving weekend because it's going to be crazy. I can tell you the other thing, be kind. Not only pack your patience, but be kind. The people that work at the airport, it's not necessarily their fault for the situations that are going on. So you really have to be nice to them because they can make sure you don't get on a plane.
That's right.
So it's another thing you need to do. And then also look at your options. So if you know that, if you find out that there's a problem, always look ahead to see what you can do if something comes up, if there's other options that can help you get out and get to where you want to go.
All right, so next Thursday, that is Turkey Day. Overall, what's going to be the busiest period then? Would we say Wednesday, travel-wise, it's going to be that busy?
Wednesday's going to be probably the busiest day, and then Sunday on the return will be the biggest. So those are the two busiest days. So that will be insane. So also you need to know, another thing is, look at the weather. Not just the weather in Detroit.
Yep.
Look at the weather around the country.
That's right.
Because if there's weather in Atlanta, if there's weather in Minneapolis, if there's weather in other hub cities, that's going to affect the flights that are coming out of Detroit.
Correct.
Even out of other non-hub cities. But look at the weather around and see if perhaps your plane, if you're going to New York and there's weather in New York, your plane not make it back to Detroit.
Yeah.
So you got to take it and keep an eye out for weather as well, because that domino effect can create nightmares for you.
I know we've covered a couple of stories, I want to say last holiday season, with a few people, flights unfortunately being canceled because it snowed here. So, of course, I want to say gas prices, we're starting to see them increase, plane tickets as well. I guess the holiday season in general, we're just going to see higher prices for modes of transportation.
Yeah, in a general sense, the times of years you don't want to travel just happen to be the holidays, okay? And historically, the prices have gone up for fuel as well as airfares during that time. They have come down on an overall basis in the last couple of years, airfares, and just the last probably 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
So that's good. And gas prices have come down. We might see a spike during this weekend, especially for gas prices for Thanksgiving. Airline fares, probably if you already planned ahead, then you probably capture those savings. If you haven't planned yet, you're, you're out of luck. Those prices will be very high if you can find a seat on certain dates going to certain locations.
That's actually important that you make that note. I was going to ask you, let's say for the person watching this right now, they want to go somewhere for Christmas, but they haven't purchased that flight ticket yet. Should they have done that in the past, or should they be doing that probably tomorrow?
They should have done that.
Wow.
Airfares come out approximately 300 days ahead of time. So literally that's the best time to do it because everything is now inventory controlled by computer. So they know that they have so many seats sold, and so the prices in general are going to go up. It's hard to find prices going down. So yes, it's going to be difficult, but the key to travel and saving money is always going to be flexibility. So the best day always had been in historic travel, ironically, was Christmas Day. And
Really?
Yeah, and New Year's Eve. Those have always been, or New Year's Day, those have been, now people figure it out. So it hasn't worked out as well. But that used to be really inexpensive days to travel. So if you're flexible, you may still be able to find some halfway decent fares. Otherwise, you're going to get in your car and start driving.
All right, so for the person watching this right now that they've got a flight next week and they would like for it to be, I don't know, upgraded to first class, but they purchased that economy ticket. Is there anything that they could do to maybe, I don't know, get a good gift?
That is highly unlikely. As you have heard recently, with many of the airlines are changing their frequent flyer programs.
Yeah, Delta.
Yes, Delta, for example, our major hub city here. So because of the problems they have with their frequent flyers that haven't been able to get upgrades or availability in the clubs. By the way, the clubs could be a difficult problem this weekend too, because they get overcrowded. And I know if any frequent flyers have been going out recently, you will see lines because there's no room to get into the clubs. So that's another problem. So upgrades, highly, highly unlikely during the Thanksgiving weekend and Christmas time.
I tried Metro Detroit.
Yes, sorry.
All
Not
right.
looking good.
David Fishman, owner of the Cadillac Travel Group, thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me.